Slice out of the big apple, made apple pies, family size. Leather bombers and Nikes and Kais. Dangerous corners, you better pray that tomorrow arrives. Rap, Sugar Ray Robinson, nothing sweet. Y'all too out of shape to even box with me. Heavyweight, I know my way around the ring. Just like Shorty know her way around the storm. Making hits with Hit Boy, all he gotta do is hit record. Record breaking news, had to show up just to fill a void. Confused boy, little boys, y'all better keep your poise. Leave me out of the weasel. Be cool when you see me, I'm hot at all that rap deep. The hood know you, so we don't borrow, believe in it. Locked in on the instrumental, I took back the key to this. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I would have crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. What I'm saying, your top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I would have crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black. What I'm saying, people saying what's already been said. Predictions, I don't listen, it's already in my head, no funny. Your most hungry place, I was past that at 28. Underground tapes, as my ass cap in publishing states. As we slide in the G-Ride, I've been getting criticized, it's keeping me energized. Create with a business mind, I'm from where killers reside. A wild hood, only knew goons since my childhood. Say anything in they raps cause it sound good. Don't even mean what they say, horrible outlook. Y'all ain't really about this house. Y'all was in the house with it. We don't respect fake jewelry and silly outfits. Window down, blowing out great tents. New York's Jay Prince on Houston Street. I caught the bounce before my even bounced the beat. I took the hard way in it, man, it's the route for me. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I would have crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I would have crowned the city is mine.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Superdome in New Orleans. Tonight, it's a good Week 9 matchup here on a Monday night between the Baltimore Ravens and the New Orleans Saints. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. They go play action. Winston. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. David Ojabo brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. How about the defense there and try to set the tone on the very first play of the game?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a glow here tonight because they brought the heat right out of the gate. What a good job establishing a tone for this one.
A situation they'll certainly want to avoid going forward. In early 2nd and long they're facing. Another try after the first down sack. Winston finding Taysom Hill complete. Room here to run. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Give them 32 on the play.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. The Saints at 3-5, 2 games under 500. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
A nice opening right away as he'll maneuver his way up to the 32-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Winston to give, it's Kamara. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Winston's throw caught by his receiver, Hill. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical. They've been crisp. And as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Ingram. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Now Winston. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
It hasn't been a real good start to this game from a defensive perspective, but now after the incompletion on 2nd down, things may be changing. If they can come up with one more play, they might be able to get out of it with just a field goal attempt.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? To throw is Winston. Toward the pylon, caught. And he is out of bounds here. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
They run. It's Kamara. And I don't think he got in. He didn't. He's stoned at the 1-yard line. Kamara on 4th and goal, unable to get in. And on the opening drive of the ball game, the defense comes up with a goal line stand. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. He's brought down in the red zone at the 18 after a gain of 18. 1st and 10.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Jackson on 1st down. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 24 yards to gain there. Another 1st down as well.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground and how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. First carry now for Gus Edwards. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. He'll buy some time right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Darius Slayton, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. They said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive. He burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Tyus Bowser with a pick, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. After the interception, here's Jackson. Well, that'll be complete to Dobbins. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Well, this defense for the Saints, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Devin Duvernay, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Ravens have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Here's Dalton.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
This will be Dalton again. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
To throw again on 2nd down. Dalton. Now a leaping catch. He's got it. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 44-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. Oh, able to avoid him. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
A first down throw coming for Dalton. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Dalton bootlegs out. Finds Hill on the crossing route, complete. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Ingram again. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line. They give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
So now it's 3rd and goal. This Raven defense trying to keep him out of the end zone. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. They'll run for it. It's Ingram. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Mark Ingram, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Saints' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Lutz with the extra point. And that'll make our score 14-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
4-4, their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play. Not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
Jackson. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the 1st. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
They'll go again with Dobbins. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one, because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And some room to work. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Play action. It's Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Andrews. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 2nd and 2. Now a run up the middle with Drake. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Jackson. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Pete Werner. And the Saints will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Andy Dalton. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. Looking for the out route. It's completed to Landry. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a 1st down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Dalton operating in the red zone now. And it'll go right back to Landry. It's complete again. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the 1st half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will do it for this 1st half. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the 2nd half.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Flush to his right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From the gun, Jackson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Targeting Dobbins again, and he's got it again. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Play action. Now Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Darius Slayton with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Ravens take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
Throwing again on second down. Dalton. On the check down, he finds Kamara. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted.
Kyle Hamilton picks it.
And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Well, this is simply a great read by a defensive back. It's 3rd and 10, so he sits right on where the yard-to-gain marker is, knows it's going to be a route around that distance, makes his read, breaks on the football, and makes a terrific play.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson.
Open man is Duvernay. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. Throwing is Jackson.
Right back to Duvernay. That's complete. And the Ravens are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at him.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins
taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Ravens use the short field to get in for 6.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out.
And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Dalton's throw caught by Olave.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Dalton, 1st and 10.
That's Olave bringing in another one.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10.
Olave holds it in.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains. On first and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there. And it's second down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the third quarter, second and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. To throw here, Dalton. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, they definitely figured out something defensively at halftime, Charles. That's now 2 drives and 2 interceptions here in this third quarter.
And I think the easy thing for us to say is, boy, they made an adjustment, didn't they? Or they showed him something different. I'm not so sure it's that as much as maybe he's just been impatient and forced the ball a little bit. In any event, as you noted, back-to-back interceptions thrown.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. That's the NFL vet Calais Campbell coming in and dragging him down. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. So Dalton now. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara. He has career touchdown number 78, tying in with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And the Saints have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Here's Dalton to throw for it. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Patrick Queen. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've got the 2-score lead. Look, though, they fumbled last possession, led to a touchdown. So while things look good here at this stage in the 4th, they got to be careful.
They definitely do, because they've actually brought them back into it, haven't they? They've given them hope once again. Their purpose on this drive, squash that hope one more time.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On the counter now, it's Dobbins. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Jackson from the shotgun. Escaping the pressure right. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That gain on third down, good for 28.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Now Jackson on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jackson. And he comes back with one complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 24-yard line. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
Marcus Peters up to make the tackle.
I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick. You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They go play action with Jackson. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
And the Saints are right back in this football game.
That is the play they needed in a two-score game here in the fourth quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge. Now
they need to execute.
Dalton's throw taken in by Landry.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing, Dalton.
Tries the left side and finds Olave.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Passing, it's Dalton. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted.
Well, time, certainly not on their side offensively. They had to take some chances, but that interception will further hinder their already slim chance at victory.
Yeah, and you're talking about time not on their side, but it certainly is on the defense's side, and they understood that. They knew they had to press it a little bit, and they planned accordingly, and what a benefit for them, able to pick that one off and hopefully put this game away.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson.
Eluding the pressure right. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need.
Marcus May with a pick. And the Saints are right back in this football game. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers stop.
Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. To throw on 2nd and 10, Dalton. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. And it'll be Dalton again. Quick slant. That's caught by the 5'11 Landry.
And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
1st and 10 for Dalton.
He completes it to Olave.
Touchdown, New Orleans.
Chris Olave,
57 yards.
And the Saints have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th.
So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter. And don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just 1 score. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. Flushed out right.
That'll be complete to Dobbins.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 33. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
A give up the middle to Dobbins.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
He'll get that out wide to Duvernay. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option.
And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd.
57 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Right back to Dobbins on 1st.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game.
Ball sits on the 10, 2nd and 5. Another run here with Dobbins.
And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
On 3rd down, here's Dobbins.
And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
Well, they were looking to pick up the first down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partner. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back,
and that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. What's good on the extra point? And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And who's got it? I think the Ravens do, yes. And they're going to win this football game. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it.
A couple more minutes and maybe the outcome of this